Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this a couple years with my fiance Netta. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're about to go into what we are shipping today on a Wednesday right here. So all this stuff sold on Tuesday. It's actually looking like a pretty grim day yesterday. We had like 2 items sold, I think around like 6 or 7 o'clock, and it was pretty frustrating. Then like a pile of sales came in out of nowhere. It's super weird to me, but I was super appreciative. There was also 2 items I couldn't find because I messed up listing. So I have to go back to the storage unit after I drop off this stuff and try to figure out how to fix the mistake. Yeah, it's been kind of stressful and annoying because of that, and that's my fault. But that's just what happens, I guess, when you're me, making mistakes. Definitely like an older mistake. We've been on a good streak of low mistakes, and then there's been a couple in the past week. So it's super frustrating to have like essentially a perfect week, and then out of nowhere there's just like issues left and right. All right, the first thing is White Wolf Publishing 2002 catalog game. I must have been out of my own plastic sheets because this is probably whatever it came in right here. All this stuff, I love grabbing up this stuff. This is going to have all their stuff in like a magazine format from 2002, all their different products. So it's really cool to look through. I'll grab up catalogs all the time, especially these nerdy ones I think are awesome. This sold to a repeat buyer for $14.40 plus shipping. Before I go into this, we do have, I think, a 20% coupon going right now, and it doesn't show me right here on my screen if the coupon was used or not. I have to like click through a couple of clicks. So some of the stuff will have 20% off, and also we do plus shipping for everything just to save everyone time. All right, next up is a Games Workshop The Fall of Medusa 5 promotional poster right here. It's already wrapped up, ready to go. This sold for $25. Yeah, I'll grab anything Games Workshop related. This is, I don't know how vintage is. Maybe not too vintage, but it's a cool one. It folds out pretty big. All right, next up is an empty tin. This is Latios, the legendary bird. This was kind of the era where I stopped playing, so I don't have the Pokemon memorized as much. This tin is empty. It sold for $17.99. This is from I think the Pokemon EX time frame. So it's going to have different like EX packs, and they're not always the same packs in there, but this is a pretty good tin. It sold for $17.99. I always like grabbing the TCG empty tins. There's something that I couldn't find. I have to go find it at the storage unit. And then next thing up, this is a board game, I believe, or stuff for a miniature game, Dust Tactics. This is no box. This is going to be Operation Cyclone Campaign. So there's the board. You can see all the different like miniatures and pieces, board rules. This is actually pretty heavy. It took me a while to list this. It was just sitting in my bin of stuff, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but Google reverse image found it, and I sold it for $17, which is awesome. We have some Dust Tactics rule books right now in the shop down below, but yeah, I don't find too much Dust Tactics stuff. All right, next up is a combo order for, I think it was 50 plus 50. So this is $100. My cat's playing with her little bouncy bird toy. Did you do that? Yeah, I don't know how she did that up there. All right, it's fine. Yeah, okay, yeah, so. All right, this is Victory Point Games Imperial Stars 2 Expansion Kit 1 and 2. So this is part 1. Right here, I opened it up and showed everything in the pictures. I'm assuming it's complete. Yeah. And this is expansion kit number 2. I didn't know much about this. I just looked it up when I was listing it. And yeah, it sold for $100 for these 2 to the same person as a combo order. So that's fantastic. Some kind of probably like rare board game expansion to be found. All right, next up is a Game of Thrones Night's Watch Song of Fire and Ice role-playing game book right here. So this is going to be an expansion book to the role-playing game. It's a hardcover. It's in very good condition. We got $28 for this one. This one, I think, was $28 without the coupon. Remember, we were going back and forth through some counter offers. Second item that I can't find, and I have to go back to the storage unit because I mislabeled it. Frustrating. All right, next up is a signed Forgotten Battles of the German-Soviet War 1941 to 1945 booklet, or like custom little packet thing. This is a repeat buyer. I think I sold something similar to this last week or maybe this week. Time goes by quickly, so $50 for this. It was signed right here by the person who wrote it. So yeah, this military stuff does pretty well for us. This could probably looks like junk to someone else, and it probably looks like a regular pen mark to someone else, but I always grab weird stuff like that because I usually get good money for it. Another repeat buyer coming up for this order. This is for Strategy and Tactics. They're magazines that came with board games. These are chits. This is Let's see, the Blood on the Tigress token sheet right here, just the front and then the back for it. Yeah, these are little game pieces that would come in the magazines. I'm not sure this is the full thing. It had the game right up here, so it's easy to find. Only $5.50, but it's also good to get a repeat buyer. There you go. All right, next up, I have a bunch of these listed. These sell slowly. These are really cool by Wizards of the Coast. This is a lot of 5 D&D campaign cards. Legacy of the Green Regent, I think. Is that what it says? I don't know. I have a bunch of these. Yeah, it says, and this is set 1, card 3 of 10. So this is 5 of them. This one right here is of the Dragon Coast. Yeah, these are just like promotional items. What?
Is that the right one?
Yeah, it's the right one. I labeled it. You can see R right there. So yeah, I double checked it. Yeah, I did good. This is when I started getting a little bit better in listing. When I have a bunch of the same item, I also add in like this one as a label. It'll be like a number or letter that says R right here. So I grabbed the R because it said R, but then I also double checked. And I've had a lot less issues. That sold for $14.78. All right, last up, I think we sold 2 of these so far. This was the last one. This is Pyramid. It's like a Pyramid Bank promotional acrylic keychain. Yeah, I'm not sure why this was a good seller. This sold for $20. I think I know to grab this at like a thrift mall, thrift store somewhere, probably in a baggie. Yeah, there was actually a baggie of other stuff. The baggie was probably like a couple dollars at most, or like a quarter an item. So yeah, the baggie had like 20 items. So yeah, this was super good. This is the 3rd one that sold. Yeah, it looks cool, like in person, but yeah, it sold for 20. All right, next up is older item. This is Hearthstone Fireside Gathering, little card. This is the card for the game, and then this is like a acrylic. Jeez. Oh my gosh, I can't even think right now. You can write on this. Dry erase. There you go. So you can put like your abilities. You're supposed to take pictures with it. This was a promotional item for when they were doing a brief period where they would have tournaments in stores. This sold for $60.75. There are some bends up here and creases, so hopefully it's not a return, but I did disclose that. I do think it got like 5% slightly worse in storage, but I think the main part is going to be like just this. This is a really rare, unique item. Hearthstone is a digital card game, so to have physical stuff, they only did it for a brief period. So yeah, this is cool. This was hard to like picture and explain what it was. But yeah, $60.75. Next up, I think I talked about this. If you want to take a look at my video of everything on the table, I think we spent $125 on. This was a Settlers of Catan Cheops, or CHEOPS scenario. It's written in German, and then inside is a little sheet that has the rules for English. There are people that collect anything Settlers of Catan. There was none listed. I just listed this for $99. We got a pretty quick offer for $85. That almost pays for the whole table. I mean, yeah, there's still fees, and we got to ship it, but they paid for the shipping. But yeah, to get that much for this, I'm excited for that. Yeah, this is also repeat buyers, so maybe they've been keeping an eye on the shop. I have gotten rare, unique Settlers of Catan stuff before. Oh, there's an ice cream truck out there. Speaking of ice cream truck, I think it was like last year, I went to the ice cream truck and it was like $8 for one of those ice creams with a little gumball like nose or whatever, and the quality was bad. And I like bought another one for like a surprise, so I spent like $15 and it was just bad. Yeah,
we live in the middle of nowhere, so he's capitalizing on him being the only one around.
Yeah, I guess so. I was pretty sad, but I had the cash. It was whatever. It was a waste of money. I was the only creepy adult. A bunch of kids getting ice cream. I was just like, I want my SpongeBob and Sonic bubblegum ice cream. Whatever. I'm moving on. All right. Next thing was War Games Illustrated Magazine number 57. This sold for $9.99. I had another one and I relisted it. So there you go. It's in the way. My bad. All right, next up, I had this listed for $40 and took a $25 offer. This is from a repeat buyer. If I would have known that, I would have been extra okay with the offer. It's Ships and Scale magazine. I think these actually were from, these are from an old auction. Yeah, from the place where we got the $660 car full, but this was not from that auction. But yeah, I got a bunch of these magazines. There weren't many listed, and it's cool. It shows like miniature ships and dioramas and a lot of tips and just like a fun magazine to read. There's 4 of them that sold for $25. It is from 1987. All right, next up is Warlord Games Crimean Russian plastic miniatures. It was just like one little screw. It had the name on it somewhere. I can't show it. You would have to zoom in super far. But yeah, it looks like there's 6 infantry, 6 heads up there, or maybe 7 heads. There's an option. And this sold for $15. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't know where you can see. All right, next up is a cool promotional binder. This is Pokemon World Championship 2007 Pikachu Hawaii 3-ring binder. There's a couple marks here. It has the cool energy symbols here. This is in pretty good condition. There's the date and the information on it. Yep, this is still pretty good. This sold for $50.50, and then we sold something on Mercari, I think. These are for essentially old dollar store solar Halloween, like little movable bobblehead toys. They're not like bobbleheads, but like the sun's supposed to make them move. There's a ghost one, 3 skeleton heads, pumpkin, and then a witch with clouds. We get a bunch of the stuff from a Michigan thrift store. It was a very unique one. We technically want to... Okay, never mind, just kidding. We got this to nowhere. All right. We got this from our thrift store, and we want to go back and get more stuff. It was a unique experience. Do you know how much this sold for? 20? 14. $14 for this. So those are pretty cool. And yeah, the missing item, I'll probably do in the next video, is a Pokemon. The missing, yeah, the Pokemon, it's like a promotional sign. It's like a cool little plastic one that you hang up for shops. And then it was also some calendar, some like fantasy book calendar. I'm really hoping I can find them. Is Mary Stewart's Merlin calendar. It looks pretty cool. It's from 1984. I found out apparently this year that old calendars eventually line up with new calendars, and the days lined up. I thought every year was technically unique. You don't know until you know. So yeah, Aneta was making fun of me. She's like, how didn't you not know? I'm like, I don't know. I saw some other random video. Someone talked about it. I was like, oh, that's why our old calendars have been selling. Maybe the year's lining up this year or next year. It's embarrassing. It's okay. All right, yeah, that's everything. This is actually really, 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 really good for Wednesday. Like I said yesterday, it was looking grim. 2 items sold. I'm going to have to... We have a bunch of stuff to ship out and pack up. We're running late. Everyone have a good week. Thank you.